Hey guys, Becca here with today's video lecture, Import from and Export to a CAD drawing. I want to first discuss exporting your SketchUp model to a DWG or DXF CAD drawing. Why would you want to do that? Sometimes you're working on a pretty cool view from inside SketchUp, but you want it to be in CAD, maybe because you are sending it as a CAD file to someone who does not know SketchUp, or you need to have an elevation view in CAD of something you already drew in SketchUp. No need to draw it again. I suggest doing this only going from a 2D view to a 2D CAD drawing because if you do not know 3D CAD, it can be confusing. Here is a kitchen one of my students created and gave me permission to share, which I will use for this demonstration. I created a kitchen elevation scene tab. Because I want to go from a 2D view to a 2D CAD view, it is a good idea to turn off the tags of items that I will not need 2D versions of. In this case, it is these accessories, so I will turn off the visibility to that tag. Notice that I changed my camera view from perspective to parallel projection in order to get that 2D view. I used a section cut here, so when I go to export a DWG file, I will get two options. Let me show you what that looks like. For exporting a SketchUp drawing to a CAD drawing, we go to the File menu and arrow down to Export. When we are using a section cut, we get this option for Section Slice. What that does is export just the sliced portion. The objects are being sliced through. Choose DWG or DXF format. I want DWG, and check your options. I always export mine at full scale or 1:1. Then click Export. Let me show you what the CAD file looks like for the section slice. Now you can see what I mean by it exports the objects that are being sliced through. This is nice for a detailed drawing when you want to show all the working parts. For instance, a wall slice where you are showing something like a ceiling height change, drywall, etc. Going back to SketchUp, let's export the model for the elevation view. Again, we will go to File, Export, and now we will choose 2D Graphic. That can be a bit confusing for some that we are exporting a 2D graphic in a 3D model. But think of it like this. We are exporting a two-dimensional view of the SketchUp model. Choose the Save as Type. I want DWG. Remember, you can only export to a DWG or DXF with SketchUp Pro. If you are using a free version of SketchUp, this will not work. Again, check your options. This all looks good to me. Click Export. This is my exported SketchUp to CAD drawing. Pretty awesome, right? I need to change my units. You can see this measures in decimals, but other than that, it's perfect. I can edit any of the lines. I will delete a couple so you can see that. It does not import my SketchUp layers, so I need to make my own in CAD with line weights and such. It is just as easy to import your AutoCAD drawing to a SketchUp model. If you are using SketchUp Make, SketchUp Free, or SketchUp for Schools, you do not have this option. Just watch as I show you what to do and take notes for future use. If you have SketchUp Pro, please give this a try. It's quite easy. I am using the instructions from the Final Project Handout 1. You can read along with me if you would like. Consider the following tips before importing any CAD file, though you do not need to do them for this project. There are many strategies to working with CAD files in SketchUp. This is just one way of prepping your CAD file. You will figure out your own workflow. Resave your CAD drawing as a new file to import into SketchUp, such as Final Project SketchUp Import. Get into the habit of not using your original CAD files for importing. If the import to SketchUp does not work, you might have to save down the CAD file to a version a few years older, such as 2010. In your newly resaved CAD file, simplify the drawing so it does not take too long to import. Delete layers and the objects on them you will not need, such as schedule tables and hatching. Delete or explode unneeded blocks. Delete text and dimensions. SketchUp will not import text and numbers, including dimensions, so this just slows down the import process. Purge the drawing of all these changes. Moving all the CAD entities to the origin at 00 will help the import come in accurately and prohibit viewing problems later in SketchUp. Download the AutoCAD file called Final Project CAD Main Floor Plan from the D2L content menu and save it to your computer. You do not need to open the CAD drawing. Open a blank SketchUp file, then save it to your desktop as last name main floor. Make sure the 2D person is in your SketchUp file before you import your AutoCAD file. If not, the floor plan will come in as separated lines, not grouped, and possibly scaled incorrectly. In SketchUp, import the CAD file. Go to the File menu and click Import. Look for the AutoCAD file you saved from D2L. If you have a SketchUp version earlier than 2020, you will need to make sure your file type dropdown reads AutoCAD Files. After clicking on your AutoCAD file once, click the Options button. Check the top two boxes, Merge Coplanar Faces and Orient Faces consistently. You will not usually choose the option for Import Material, so we will skip this one. The Preserve Drawing Origin should be checked if you are going to bring in a stacked AutoCAD file, such as 2 or more floor plans. It does not need to be checked for the final project. I do not typically check this box because then the drawing will be brought in at the 0, origin point, keeping the geometry where it should be. Set your units to match what the AutoCAD drawing is set to, either model units or inches. If you do not know what the units are, choosing model units is the better option. Click OK, then click Import. SketchUp will take a few moments to import, then it will share the import results with you in a dialog box. If this box does not pop up, it most likely did not import correctly and you need to redo your import. Click Close. Your project will look like this, possibly with a different 2D person, if inserted correctly. 3 noteworthy items. 1. The AutoCAD file when imported is automatically placed at the 0 axis or origin point because we did not check Preserve Drawing Origin. 2. SketchUp requires a closed group of edges, not something CAD produces, which is why there are not any faces to your imported floor plan. And 3. The plan comes in as a group if imported correctly. Use the Views toolbar and click Top View, then zoom to the extents. Use the Tape Measure tool in SketchUp to check a known distance, such as the back entry sliding door, which is 6 feet. If the measurement is not correct, remember you can use the same tool to correctly scale your entire floor plan by rescaling the model. Open your Tags or Layers toolbar. When you import AutoCAD files, you will see most of the layer names from the CAD file in the Tags Layers toolbar. However, it will usually not import the layers that cannot be seen in SketchUp. First, purge all unused tags or layers by clicking the Details arrow, the black one, in the Tags Layers toolbar. Choose Purge, and this may or may not delete any tags or layers. Next, merge all the tags or layers so they are untagged or on layer 0. Select all the tags or layers by clicking the top tag name one time. Hold down the Shift key, then click the very bottom tag. Click the Delete button. A dialog box will open. Be sure the Move Contents to Default Layer or Move Contents to Default Tag radio is filled in, then select OK. Add a new tag or layer called CAD Plan or Floor Plan. Move the floor plan to that new tag or layer. You should now only have 2 tags or layers in your model and nothing should be on layer 0 or untagged. We will now lock the base file or the CAD plan and draw on top of the import to use as a guide for drafting. Why? To secure it in its spot without accidentally moving or deleting lines. This saves mistakes and hours of work. Select the floor plan, which is automatically grouped when imported. Right-click on it, then choose Lock. Locking the group will turn your entire floor plan group red. If for any reason you do have to unlock it, immediately lock it back. Check it during modeling in case you accidentally unlocked it. Many students have accidentally deleted the face of a wall or floor, adding extra work to the project, so I suggest locking items when you're not working on them. I typically lock my walls and floors as I model. The last steps of this handout are to delete the 2D person and save your model. Now you can use the CAD plan to model on top of, beginning with the exterior walls. That is explained to you in handout 2. Another way you can import a drawing or an image is drag and drop the file icon for the DWG file into SketchUp directly from the file folder. I select the CAD file, hold down my mouse, and drag it directly to my open SketchUp model. You can see that it is imported the same way, with even the options box appearing to check the important boxes and drop-downs. The tags are the same, and when I measure the door opening, it's correct. Really easy, right? And if you did this handout with me, you're now done with handout 1 of the final project. Save this and move on to handout 2. That's it for today's video lecture on importing from and exporting to CAD. It's now time to get started on the final project. Make sure you read through all 6 handouts thoroughly, again and again. It's all there, you just need to read through. As always, please let me know if you need clarification. Bye for now.